Hello, today we'll be doing the Chapter 6 review. This is the Carlton version, not the Dudley version. Alright, up top here, these are just the targets that we've had throughout the unit. You can take a look at those, make sure you know what you're doing for all those, but there's no work associated with it. All the targets are listed above the question, so let's just get going. The first target, I can determine whether ratios are equivalent. Okay, are these two ratios equivalent? Well, all you have to do is, you've got these lined up here, you can just check the cross products. Now keep in mind, these are written as fractions. We can think of them as being boxed up and having a ratio here and here, but these are written as fractions, but you can still compare fractions that way too. Remember, fractions are those special case ratios where they're top to bottom. Alright, let's just give this a shot here. It's kind of hard to see that calculator. See if I can get another one that's a little easier for you to read. Much better. Okay, so we'll take 14 times 144. 14 times 144. This is 2016. We'll just check 12 times 168. 2016. So these here are equal. Alright, 11 horses. I'm just going to box that up like that. So I've got sheep to horses, sheep to horses. Again, these are written as ratios, not as fractions. So, well, 10 times 11 would be 110. 6 times 14, 6 times 10 would be 60. 6 times 4 would be 84. These are not equal ratios because those numbers are not the same. And then these ones here, well, 15 times 6 is 90. And I'm not exactly sure what 30 times 5 or 36 times 5 is, but I know that 30 times 5 is 150. 5 times 6, so I believe this is 180. Whatever it is, it's way too big. It's bigger than 90, so these are not equal. Alright, just because I don't like wrong information here, let's see if that is 90, or see if that is 180. 36 times 5. It's a gift. Alright, I can write ratios in simplest form. So she wants a ratio for here, students who ride the bus to students who walk. So I'm going to take and put my colon right down here. Students who ride the bus are 230, and walkers are 86. All right, right off the top of my head, I can't think of any numbers that go in there other than 2. So I'm just going to divide both by 2. I'll use a fraction bar to show that. So I think I'll move that information up here now. So this is going to be 115. 86 divided by 2 will be 43. We're not looking too good here, folks. We may be in simplest form. Let's just think about the smaller the numbers. 43, it's 1 and 43. 2 doesn't go in there. 3 doesn't go in there. 4 doesn't go in there. 5 doesn't go in there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is 39. That's not going to go. 14, 15, 16. This is a prime number. Nothing else is going to go into it. So when you have a prime number like that, unless this is a multiple of 115, it's not going to go in there. And you could try it 3 times. 3 times 43 is going to be 129, which is too big. 2 times is not big enough. So this is in simplest form right here. All right, so now we want students in a car to, put my ratio symbol there, to students who ride a bus. So car is 110, bus is 230. Okay, well let's divide by 10. That really helped. All of a sudden we're down to 11 to 23. Again, 11's a prime number, 23 is a prime number. 11 does not go into 23. This is the simplest form of that ratio. Okay, students who walked, the total number of students. This gets a little tricky now. Students who walk are 86. The total number of students, this is going to be a fraction. Sorry, I got to slide that up. This is a fraction because we're asking for the total number, so it's not going to be a ratio. So we have to take 110 plus, was it 86 plus 230 equals 426. Let me just think about that. 230 and 110, 0, 4, that's 340 plus 86, yep, 426. Just want to double check my math. Yeah, that's 426. So, and again, this is that special case ratio, the part to whole ratio. Special case, I'm going to write down here, special case ratio. A fraction, we call it. What can we do here? Well, we can divide this by 2. It's the first thing I can think of. This is going to go down to 43 again. If I divide by 2 on the top and divide by 2 on the bottom, we got 43. And then 426, that's going to be 213. So dividing by 2, we're right here, and this is actually not a prime number. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 3 is 6. So 3 goes into this number. I think it's 3 times 71. 43 is a prime number. This dude's in simplest form right here because 43 is prime, and 43 does not go in. It's not 213 is not a multiple of 213. So I'll just show you. You just take 213 and you can divide that by 43. It's 4.95 or something like that. So it doesn't go in there. Sorry, there's my calculator. It doesn't go in there evenly, so this is in simplest form right here. All right, we just got some unit rates here. I just like boxing them up like this, so I've got my ounces. I got all my labels there. $5.56 for 35 ounces. Remember that most of the time, you won't put a 1 under money. It'll go under the other. So let's just check it out here. We'll put 1 there. 1 times 556 divided by 35. So 556. Oops, I better put the decimal in. 5.56 divided by 35 ounces. That's about, well, if you take a look at it, let's us round to the nearest hundred or nearest penny, which is the 5. So this 8 is big enough to call that 0.16 when we're thinking about money. That's 16 cents per ounce. So if you want to write this officially, you could write like this. All right, 356 miles per 4 hours. Well, you almost always put the number 1, the unit rate, under measures of time. So this is a measure of time, 1 hour. So 1 times 356 divided by 4. 356 divided by 4. That's 89. That makes sense. I'm just going to put 89 miles per hour because we've got, it's per 1 hour. So there's your unit rate right there is 89 miles per hour. Makes sense because 90 times 4 would be 360. All right, 36 feet per 5 seconds. I guess it's going to be kind of a weird one, but again, let's just try it underneath the seconds and see if it works. Most people don't talk about feet per second. It's kind of a weird one, but people do use it. So we're just going to take 36 divided by 5. Sorry, get that so you can see it. 36 divided by 5. 7.2. So 7.2 feet per second. Make that decimal just a little bit bigger. All right. Always important to think about the reading the ratios when you're done. 36 feet, 5 seconds. 7.2, 1 second. Makes sense. 356, 4 hours. 89 and 1. 556 for 35 ounces. 16 cents for 1 ounce. Yeah, these all make sense. All right, let's turn the page to the second page of the review. We're converting customary units here. So you can do this a couple of ways. I do like using the box. I'm going to kind of show you how to do that. I just kind of box them up like this. And they want to know how many inches are in, or sorry, they want to know 122.76 inches is how many feet. Well, I don't know that, but I do know that 12 inches is 1 foot. So I can put that in, and using the box, I know what to do. Now, most people just say, well, you could just take 122 and divide it by 12. I know that. I like this because it organizes my work. So I'm just going to do it. Just take 122.76. 122.76. Whoa. 122.76. Sure I got that in there right. And I'll divide that by 12. It looks like 10.23. 10.23 feet. Okay. We want to know how many cups is 14 quarts. Not sure right off the top of my head. But I know that in 1 quart there are 4 cups. You'll be able to look at your chart and see that. So we can figure that out. Remember, a cup is 8 ounces. 4 times 8 is 32 there. So, okay, so here we're just going to multiply 4 times 14, which is 56. If you don't trust me, you can check it yourself. 56 cups. There we go. 56 cups is 14 quarts. And think about it, 56 cups, 14 quarts, 4 cups, 1 quart. Makes sense. 122 to 10 feet. 12 inches, 1 feet. Makes sense. All right, 56 feet is how many yards? All right, well, I don't know off the top of my head, but I know that 3 feet is 1 yard. So if I use the box there, I know that 1 times 56 is 56. I just have to take 56 and divide it by 3. 18.6. 18.6 repeating. You could say this is 18. And 2/3 yards, 2 if you would like to. I think either way is okay. You can't quite see my repeating bar there. It's up there. All right, how many feet is in 2 miles? Well, I know 1 mile is 5,280 feet. So 5,280 times 2 is all we have to do. 5,280 times 2, 10,560. Now, hopefully you'll have memorized some of these things, but there may be a chart on the test. We haven't determined whether there'll be that chart or not. All right. 3 gallons is how many cups? I don't know. 1 gallon is 16 cups. And if you can't figure that out, you can always take something like, well, I know that there are 128 ounces. You work with the information you know. You know that there are 128 ounces in a gallon. You can divide that by 8. You get your 16 cups. So 1 gallon has 16 cups. 16 times 3 divided by 1, or just 16 times 3 of 48 cups. You've got your rate right there, 48 cups. Sorry, I like circling my answers. And this is a little intense over on this side. How many ounces is 6 pounds? Well, I know that 1 pound is 16 ounces. So I'm just going to take 16 times 6. And 6 times 1. 6 times the 10 would be 90. 6 times the 6. Sorry, 6 times the 10 would be 60. 6 times the 6 would be 36. So this would be 96 ounces. All right, I can convert from 1 metric unit to another. All right, well, let's do this. I'll just make a little 1 here each time. King Henry died. Here's your base. Drinking chocolate milk. I'm just going to do that for all of these real quick. I do like boxing them too, but if you don't know what kilo, hecto, deca, deci, centi, and milli mean, it's quite easier to do this. I know the science teachers like you doing this, so we will support the science department here. All right, 3.5. Okay, so this is deciliters, which is over here, and that's where we're starting, and we're going to milliliters. So we're going to move it 1, 2. We're really multiplying by 100 when we do that. So here's my 3.5. I'll just write it over here, 3.5, so you can see we are going to move it the same direction. That's why I put the arrow on there. We're going to move it. That would be multiplying by 10. This would be multiplying by 100. So we have to add the 0 and put the decimal there if we want, but when it's at the end of a number, we usually drop it. So this is 350 milliliters. Here we're at decameters. That's over here. That's 100. We have 230 decameters, and we're going to go to centimeters. We don't know how many, so we're going to go to the base unit, to deci, to centi. So we're really multiplying by 1,000. So here's 230. Of course, there is no decimal, so this is the decimal. I'll just add it at the end. I have to move it 3 places. 1, 2, 3. So 230,000 centimeters. That is a comma. All right. 32 grams. We want to know how many kilograms. So we're at the base unit here of grams. So we would have to go 1, 2, 3. So let's take 32 grams. There is no decimal, so we put it at the end. We have to go back. We're dividing by 1,000 because we're going backwards. There's divide by 10, divide by 100, divide by 1,000. You can add that 0. So this is 0.032. It's a horrible looking decimal. 0.032. All right, and now we're at 45 centimeters. We're right here, and we're going to go to what? It's not a K. I'm going to go to kilometers. So let's do that. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're moving at 5 places. So here's the 46.5. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My arrow. I've got to put all these placeholders in. It's a very small number. 0.0004665. You got to remember, 46 centimeters is not even 1 meter, so it's going to be just a very, very small fraction of a kilometer. All right, let's go on to the last target, solving real-world problems. I almost always box these up, so I'm just going to start. Adele recommends brushing your teeth 800 times per year. If you follow her recommendation, how many times would you brush your teeth per, I believe this is supposed to be per day. Hint, there are 365 days in a year. So, well, this would be 800 brushes. The label is brushes in days. 800 brushes in 365 days. So we want to know how many brushes per day for 1 day. So we're just going to go 1 times 800 and then divide it. 800 divided by 365. 2.19. Why that weird number? Who knows? Maybe Adele drank her chemistry set this morning. I don't know. No. They're probably recommending that you brush them after every meal, and a lot of times people will skip lunch or breakfast or dinner at some point in time, and they eat 800 meals. So that's why it's not 3 times per day. And if you think about it, that's probably the way you do it as well. You always do it, after breakfast when you get up in the morning. You always do it before you go to bed. And sometimes, 0.19, you do it at lunchtime. All right. Take a look here in one survey. So 2.1 times, I should list that per day, brushes. 2.19 brushes per day. Okay. In one survey, a doctor recommends that he 35 out of, I think this is, in the survey, a doctor recorded that 35 out of 230 patients were seen, flip this, were seen for a broken bone. If this pattern continues, about how many people would be seen for a broken bone out of 750 patients? Well, we could think about that as, here's 35 patients out of 230. Now, it's not 35 to 230. It's 35 out of. This tells me that that's a fraction. Sorry, I messed that up. I want to make it nice and clear. 35 out of 230. Okay, now they want to know how many we could predict that would be out of 750. Again, 750 would be the total. So we're going to have 35 times 750 divided by 230. Let's see if I move this all so you can see the calculator and what I'm doing. Kind of, if I put our kitty wampus. 35 times 750. We divide that by 230. About 114.13. And I'm going to put the little about symbol there so you know that. So, about 114 people, 114 broken bones can be expected out of 750. Well, thank you for listening, and good eye, mates.